I'm Aaron.
I'm Alex.
And we're two in the booth. Welcome into this week's exciting episode. We have a lot in store this episode, recapping some eventful things from the weekend, looking ahead to the upcoming weekend's baseball. We are approaching September. And Alex, I don't know about you, but the weather is starting to feel like it's ready for September over this way. And that's a good thing. We're getting into fall baseball, which means the urgency meter is about to get turned up for some teams.
That's correct. That is correct.
Perhaps should have already been turned up.
It probably should have been.
But it's beside the point.
But there is something nice, though. Went to the ball game last night, and there's just almost a chill in the air, almost as the sun went down. And you're just like, man, this is fantastic. And you're not hot, and there's no humidity. September baseball can be the most stressful, but it also can be the most enjoyable as far as just being at the ballpark. So
the river of sweat running down your back turns to a trickle in September. And the ballroom is cool, if you know what I mean. So
Absolutely.
And this week, we heard from some listeners in Alex's camp that asking him to find the top 10 RBI people of all time outside of Cap Anson was not fair. And so supposedly, he's got it in for me this week. So we'll see what happens with that.
We'll see, but you've shown yourself quite astute to being able to nail down miscellaneous names on top 10 lists. So,
time will tell. And so I'm curious, you went to the game last night. We're recording this on Wednesday. So you went to the Tuesday night's Tigers game where they beat the Rays 4-1. The score of the previous night's game only flipped.
Yes.
Who's starting games these days for Detroit other than Troy Melton?
Last night was Jackson Jobe on the hill.
Ooh.
Which was nice to see him in action. After that, it's hard to say.
Troy Melton.
Excuse me.
Hader Montero.
Fromber, the friendly giant Valdez.
Fromber, the friendly giant.
Fromber, friendly as in he'll give you cookie. He's a cookie monster. He'll give you cookies all day and let you hit them all over the ballpark. So, there's Fromber Valdez.
A skill he learned in coming to Detroit, I heard.
Yes. Yeah. No. Career low and quality start percentages. He's quite the hero in Detroit right now. So
our discussion from last week about National League MVP has appeared to only strengthen towards Pete Crow Armstrong over the weekend. He is continuing his case towards 40-40. And there are rumors that Shohei could be on the mound the first part of September. So that's a building story. But right now it seems like PCA, it's his MVP to run away with. And he's got an opportunity to do that this weekend. Did that a little bit this past weekend, continuing just productivity with stolen bases and home runs. It's a good thing. We're looking at the National League East today. Sorry, before we get to the National League East.
Regarding MVP race, let's talk American League MVP for just 1 second.
Dude.
People are pretty convinced that, it's Yordan Alvarez's to lose, given his production this year. But the question I have, are there any other contenders? And if so, can a case be made for any other players? In particular, I was wondering, what if I were to give you just a couple, we'll call them mystery profiles? Who would you take for MVP? I think it's a good question to ask, and we can Oh, the ads on Baseball Reference, not cool, by the way. Not cool.
Oh, be better,
Prof-
Baseball Reference.
Profile one. Let's go. Yeah, neither one of them really do a lot of the work there. Okay, let's go here. We'll go profile one. We've got a batting average of 328 or 323, excuse me. 36 home runs, 91 RBIs, 150 hits, 88 runs scored, one stolen base, 5.9 WAR. Okay.
Sounds like Yordan Alvarez.
Second profile, 140 hits, 35 home runs, 280 batting average, 81 runs scored, 84 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. Meanwhile, 4.4 WAR. This person also plays third base and shortstop, arguably a little more consequential spot in the field than Yordan Alvarez.
But, okay. Wait, how many home runs does this mystery individual have?
35. So one off the pace of where Alvarez is.
Okay.
35 home runs. So the question 35. Is, can a case be made? And if so, or if not, like what would he have to do to catch him? Junior Caminero for the best team in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Wait, Junior Caminero plays shortstop?
And third base. Third base primarily, but he can play shortstop.
Really?
Yes.
I learned something new today.
So the question is, what would he have to do? Because he's again, like typically there were eras of the MVP race where you're like, man, like it goes to the best player on the best team, and if that logic were to hold true this year, it would be Junior Caminero because Junior Caminero is the best player on the best team in the American League. And it doesn't seem like his stats, like he's obviously 50 points off in his batting average and he hasn't scored quite as many runs, but he's right there in home runs and RBIs. What would he have to do to catch him, you think? Do you think he'd have to surpass him in home runs? Do you think he'd have to, get to 100 plus RBIs? What would he have to do, you think?
So let's swap the question. Because I don't think that's a question that has a good answer to it.
Yeah.
I think the question is, what does Yordan Alvarez have to do to take the MVP from the best player on the best team? And I think the answer to that question is he's got to win the Triple Crown. And right now, he's in a position to win the Triple Crown, which is he's leading the American League in average, home runs, and runs batted in. And I think if he falls off pace in any of those three categories and doesn't have the Triple Crown, Junior Caminero wins the MVP.
Yes.
Like if Yordan goes through a sustained slump for 2 weeks, and Junior Caminero passes him or someone else in the American League passes him in batting average or one of those other three categories, I think Yordan falls back and Junior Caminero runs away with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything that Junior Caminero needs to do as much as Yordan's got to back off the pace. Like, to me, I think it's pretty incredible. I mean, I think this is the first time we have a potential Triple Crown winner since Miguel Cabrera did it.
Yep.
So
Judge was holding the pace for quite a while. One season recently, but yes.
So, and the year that Cabrera won the Triple Crown, I believe he also won the MVP.
Yeah, that would obviously be probably a slam dunk. So that's what I'm saying. Like if Caminero were to overtake him in home runs, hypothetically, which is he's one off the pace right now.
Potentially, yeah.
Like would that be enough to swing it and make Junior Caminero a legit contender in that award category?
I don't know. That's tough. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Junior Caminero. I think he's very streaky. He's undoubtedly a great power hitter. He reminds me of a right-handed David Ortiz, except he can play the field.
Okay.
Which isn't to discredit him as much as it's just like, okay, but here you've got Jordan, who, I mean, talk about a preeminent left-handed hitter of his generation. If Shohei Ohtani's not playing right now, that's Jordan.
That's true.
So that's tough. Like I said, I think if Jordan runs down the stretch, holds on to those three categories, he's got the MVP. If Junior has a ridiculous end to August or a phenomenal September, I think we got a different conversation in a couple weeks for the MVP in the American League.
It's funny. So you say streaky, right? If I'm reading this right, you got to go since June 1st. Junior Caminero has only had one back-to-back day where he had no hits.
Nice.
So like anyway, I got to watch him play yesterday. He had a couple hits in a losing effort. He's got a couple hits today. Like he just, he's making things happen, and he's raising his batting average a little bit. And anyway, it's just very interesting. And he's been obviously the Rays are, just doing
Cinderella
work
story.
Well, they're doing work in the AL East, and quite frankly, the reason nobody even talks about the controversy with Wander Franco off the field and stuff is largely due to the fact that Junior Caminero is like, Wander who? Like, nobody remembers that guy because, and thank goodness he's out of the league. You don't wish him any ill will, but like, thank goodness he's out of the league, because could you imagine if Caminero and Franco were on the same team and the Rays wouldn't let anybody win. So anyway, but it's just an interesting discussion. So sorry for the speed bump there.
It's a good point.
So
no, you're good. So let's travel back to the National League East.
Okay.
This last weekend, the Brewers did their thing, and the Phillies did their thing until Monday. And we saw the National League East lead get down to, I think it was 2.5 games.
Yes.
And I was thinking to myself, man, podcast this week is going to be fire, because the Phillies are going to go out to Seattle and they're just going to keep the mojo going. Sunday culminates with that Schwarber walk-off home run that hits the batter's eye in Citizens Bank Park. Pretty phenomenal. And I don't know what kind of jet lag they had on the flight out to Seattle. I also am wondering if their flight got diverted and they got a bunch of lookalikes to show up in Seattle.
Yes.
But they just completely erased everything they've worked towards over these last 2 days by just on Monday, Zach Wheeler throwing a dumpster fire of a game.
Ooh, what a word.
And then yesterday, the offense, the starting 9, not knowing how to string hits together to be able to score runs. And let's give Logan Gilbert and George Kirby their due. I mean, they're excellent starting pitchers, but championship caliber lineups take on excellent pitchers and hit them. And the Phillies have done neither over the last 2 days. You got to start doing that. And I'm just going to call my boy out, like Trey Turner. We need to put out an APB. Where is Trey? Be better, Philly. Be better.
Some were wondering, and we've brought this up in podcasts of the past here, some were wondering, where have certain people gone? And I think it's interesting you say dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, the dumper himself has been resurrected.
He's been dumping on the Phillies. Let's just be honest.
He has hit 4 home runs and 4 consecutive at-bats. And thank you, Philadelphia Phillies, for avoiding what inevitably was going to turn into probably a PED discussion as far as the big dumper's concerned. Because apparently that MVP player is in there somewhere. He just hasn't been able to be recognized as of late. So
that's right.
Anyway, way to go. Way to wake up the beast.
And, the whole rest of the AL West should be afraid because Seattle is only 2.5 games behind Houston and Texas.
100%. 100%.
And
They're still very much in this.
If the dumper can figure out a way to get 30 home runs or 35 home runs between now and the end of the season, the Mariners are going to win the division if he does that.
Yeah, and they're all of a sudden they're the
Randy
hottest team in that
Arozarena's
division.
having a great season. Yeah. Wow. I mean, what an amazing turnaround that could be.
Hey man, yeah. Right.
So let's just kind of temperature check on the wild card right now. So National League, nothing's changed with the division leaders: Milwaukee, Los Angeles, Atlanta. They're there. Cubs, Phillies, and if the season ended today, it would be Cubs, Phillies, Padres in the wild card.
Yep.
Arizona's a game back. Miami is 4 games back. Hello. And I think that's a really interesting storyline nobody's been talking about, right? The Miami Marlins, I had an opportunity to watch them a little bit last night. If they can stay healthy, they got some pieces in that lineup. And the word that comes to mind is pesky. Like,
yeah.
They're the sweat bee that just annoys the fire out of you. You know what I mean? You know what a sweat bee is? Do they have those out in your neck of the woods?
I don't know what you're talking about, but
they're like these little bees that buzz around you when you're sweating a lot, and they like hover. They don't bite you. They don't sting you. There's nothing nasty about them. They're just pesky. Yeah. And you're like constantly like shooing them away from you and all that. That's the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, and
they're pesky.
I just don't know if that's going to be enough to get it done as far as get them in across the finish line. I think right now, I think as it stands, Arizona excluded, this is a playoff field that the National League would absolutely dream about having. Yeah. Like the 6 in right now, you've got LA, obviously. You've got Milwaukee, which has been the standard for baseball for the last 3 seasons. You've got the Braves, World Series winner a few years back. You got the Chicago represented. You got Philly represented. You got 2 California teams. This is a field that's just like, if you're going to say a juggernaut field, this is it.
Well, and you have a lot of balance, right? 2 teams from each division make the playoffs in this scenario right now.
Absolutely. So it's kind of like the equilibrium has been achieved, and it's like, the Marlins making the playoffs like they did a couple years ago, just doesn't, I don't know. Good team, great story, but I'm like, you're kind of just hoping like things stand pat the way they are right now. Like maybe jockey position, but those 6 teams, that would be an epic playoff, run that the fans would get to enjoy.
It would be. While we're talking about the Diamondbacks excluded, what are your thoughts on the whole Ketel Marte fiasco? That's been a storyline that's unraveled over the last week plus. We didn't talk about it last week. I think it was just coming into focus last week. Any thoughts? So the storyline is the Diamondbacks show up in Boston to play a game. I think it was either last Monday or the Monday before. He doesn't show up for the game. They put him on the restricted list. He's dealing with an injury, trying to come back from that. A couple days later, there's a picture that emerges of him on social media from late night at a casino down at like the Diamondback spring training facility. What are your thoughts?
To quote Torey Lovello, I hope he gets the help he needs. Like, and I'll save it for the tears, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a lot of patience for your professional ball player. You've got one job to do. And a lot of the time, a lot of these professional ball players do it regrettably. And like the least you can do is show up to the game, whether or not you're in the lineup or not. But the fact that now Ketel Marte's pulled this in multiple seasons, it's like, all right, man, like,
what are we doing?
Cut him loose. Like, he's a good ball player. But you're just like, man, talk about a guy like that. You just don't like. There's no like what the place is for a guy like that in the clubhouse is hard to know. And so,
yeah,
not the definition of a good glue guy. So
his name would definitely not be lumped in with Elmer.
No.
All right, let's look at the American League wildcard picture. Just a temperature check, dude. What a list of names that are division leaders right now in the American League. Like, I think at the beginning of the season, if you'd been like, "Hey, who are the division winners in the American League?" I highly doubt that someone would have said Tampa Bay, Chicago White Sox, and Houston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, all the teams that you would have thought would be in the division are fighting over the 3 wild card spots. And
yes.
That's a fascinating storyline to me. So, like I said, Tampa Bay, Chicago, Houston, they're the division winners. You got the Yankees, Red Sox, and Guardians right now in 3 wild card spots. Texas, Baltimore, Seattle, Minnesota, Toronto are all within 3 games. And the Tigers lurking at 4.5 back, playing meaningful baseball with the Tampa Bay Rays right now. And you're like, that was for your sake. Just a lot more of a competitive field in the American League. And in the National League, you've got one team that's within 3 games of the last wild card spot. In the American League, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams within 3 games.
Yeah. And somehow the National League is more compelling than this like atrocious like litany of like mediocre garbage.
Yep.
And
mediocrity at its finest in the American League.
You just kind of hope, like, you know, and I don't want to be crass here, but like Bud Selig's wet dream was to have like 4 AL East teams in the playoffs. And I hope that happens here. Like, I hope we get like Tampa Bay, New York Yankees, Boston. And then I hope maybe Toronto and Baltimore play the last weekend of the season for the opportunity to be the 4th wild card team, or the 3rd wild card team, excuse me. So
to be the one that Houston just goes all crazy on.
Yes. Yeah. I just why not? I just, it's crazy. I don't, you know, the sports radio in the market for one of these teams is absolutely nauseating because you have, we're only 4.5 games back. And you're like, yeah, but you just look at the odds there, 4.5 games in a field of 7 teams where
it's a lot.
Tiebreakers and everything else with records come into play. 4.5 is actually like 10 to 11 games back. So
and the team you're referencing has the Dodgers coming to town the rest of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm a part of Orioles Facebook page, fan group or whatever. And scrolling through it yesterday, and this fan pops on and just spouts off about how, like, this team has a chance. I think if we go 21-6 the rest of the way, we can do this. And it's like, bud,
and you can.
I don't think you understand. It's not just you, though. Like, the other teams have to make way for you to go 21-6 and make up ground.
I will just do a quick public service announcement. Adrian Johnson just like mailed in the game today that he's calling. Like, he's calling balls strikes. He's calling strikes. Well, he's just doing whatever he wants behind the plate today.
He's just daring the players to challenge the calls.
No, and now, so in 3 pitches, he called the first pitch a strike, which was 2 inches above the zone. Pitcher throws the exact same pitch 2 pitches later. He calls it a ball, and then the catcher challenges it because it was just called a strike. And so, like, and that thing wasn't close. And so, anyway, I just like Adrian Johnson. Thank you for doing what I thought you could do.
That song, the classic song, comes to mind. You had a bad day.
Yeah,
maybe it's time for you to follow in the footsteps of CB Buckner.
Good for Tyler Wells, though, closing games for the Tampa Bay Rays. Good for him.
Real.
Good for him.
All right, weekend. All right, I got you.
Well, the
Top
only
10 list.
the only thing to look forward to this weekend is Scooble comes back to Detroit.
Yeah.
Scooble will probably throw 110 pitches and it'll be a perfect game tomorrow. And so,
are you going to go down and watch it? Are you?
I'm considering it, but that's undoubtedly something here. So I'm going to give you two.
What you need to do is you need to start a burner page, and you need to chirp at Tarek tomorrow when he comes back to the ballpark. You've got the you've got the vocal cords for it. Just come up with some really nice ones. Tag Trev's chirps in your feed, and just go to town.
Tarek.
There you go. Chirp at him a little bit. That'd be fun.
I'm gonna give you two categories. You can choose A or B.
Okay.
Which one do you pick, A or B?
You're not going to tell me the categories?
Well, no, because that's going to take the fun out of it. A or B?
A.
All right. War. War. I'll give you 2.
Is this all-time war?
2 or 9.
I'll take number 9.
So you are Tris Speaker.
Okay.
You are Tris Speaker. Had a 136.1 career WAR, and played 22 years in the big leagues. We're looking for the other 9 top 10 all-time WAR wins against replacement.
Well, this is ridiculous. Is this pitchers and batters, or just
pitchers and batters? And we're split.
Gosh.
We've got 1, 2. 2.5 pitchers, and 2.5 pitchers, I believe. Although, let me check on this guy real quick.
What are you doing?
Oh no, sorry, 3.5 pitchers.
3.5,
and the rest
pitchers
are position players.
All right. Here we. How many guesses are you going to give me?
Well, we'll just start with some strike. Give you some strikes here. So.
All right, so the half pitcher is probably Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, no, we're talking career WAR. Career WAR all time. He's not career WAR. He's still not sniffing the top 100.
Sure. So, all right, so Babe Ruth is probably the half pitcher then.
Babe Ruth is number 1 in WAR at 182.6.
It's ridiculous. All right, so Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron is number 7, 143.2 WAR.
Okay. Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio is not on the list. And
Stan Musial.
Joe DiMaggio is number 69 all time.
Wow. Stan Musial.
Stan Musial, just outside the top 10 at 11, 128.5 career WAR.
All right. Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan, not on the list. And
all right.
Nolan Ryan is actually 62 on the list all time.
All right. Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb is number 6, 149.8 WAR. So far you've got Babe Ruth,
4, including
Ty Cobb, Tris Speaker, and Henry Aaron.
All right, Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig, not on the list.
Too short of a career. I understand.
Lou Gehrig is 18th all time.
Yep, fine. So, Ted Williams.
Ted Williams is number 14 on the list. 121.7.
Cy Young.
Cy Young is number 3. Cy Young is number 3. So you got Babe Ruth, Cy Young, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron, and Tris Speaker.
Okay. So basically I need 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10.
So you're looking for number 2. You're looking for number 4, 5, and 8 and 10. 2, 4, 5, 8, and 10.
There's some modern players that are up there.
You've got 2 very modern players, both from a particular era.
Yeah. Derek Jeter.
Jeter is not on the list. Jeter is 96th all time.
Wow, barely cracked the top 100. Let's go Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire, not on the list. 172 all time. But you're getting closer with McGwire.
Albert Pujols.
Pujols, not on the list. 29 all time.
Chipper Jones.
Now you're going colder. Chipper Jones, 52 all time. Who's the home
Barry
run
Bonds.
Barry Bonds is number 4 all time. 162.8 WAR.
All right, 4 left.
Who would be pitching to a Barry Bonds type? Who would be pitching?
Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens, number 8, the Rocket, all time, 139.2.
Interesting.
You're missing one really obvious, by way of historic player, maybe greatest all time, depending on
Satchel Paige.
No. No more
Mickey
pitcher.
Mantle.
Excuse me, one more pitcher, but not. Nope.
Mariano Rivera.
Think Barry Bonds lineage, both for the team and
the Say Hey kid, Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, number 5 all time.
Okay.
The next two, you have the number 2 all time and number 10. I don't know if you'll get number 10. You could get if you have enough guesses. Number
is
2,
Jimmy Fox on there?
Jimmy Fox is not on here. The first one,
I'm trying to think through other like super early, super great ball players.
So you're thinking your hometown
Schmidt.
Born kid. Not like, no, it's not for you hometown, I guess, but it's your hometown team. You know, who you would have grown up rooting for.
Jackie Robinson.
The Dodgers? No.
No.
Look on your wall. Look on your wall. What team, what city's represented on the wall in your office?
Is Roberto Clemente on there?
Nope. But it's another Pittsburgh Pirate, though.
Interesting. Willie Stargell.
Nope. Hocus Pocus. Honus Wagner. Number 10.
The T206 guy.
Number 2 all time, 168.4 WAR. Pitcher.
That's Onus?
No, that's number 10.
A pitcher. Okay.
This guy played for the...
Don't tell me the pitcher.
I know, but I'm going to give you some just like information here.
Bob Gibson.
Nope. 2-time MVP.
Tom Seaver.
3-time Triple Crown. Nope. Played in the 1924 World Series. Was the champion for the Washington Senators.
Walter Johnson.
It might be the whitest name of all time. Walter Johnson.
Or Whitey Ford.
Walter Johnson.
Walter Johnson?
Walter Johnson. 168.4 WAR. 417 wins. 2.17 career ERA.
Nice.
12,000
The dude was
strikeouts.
dominant back in the day. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Let's see how many strikeouts he had.
What was the B category?
Stolen bases.
Oh, man. I could give you a run on stolen bases, but we'll have to save that for another time.
Do you promise not to look this week? Because we can bring that back next week.
Like it's Ricky Henderson, Lou Brock, Maury Wills, Ozzie Smith is on there. I'm pretty sure Andre Dawson's on there.
You're 0 for the last 3. 0 for the last 3. Okay. You're 0 for the last 3. Yeah, I mean, just, the guy
Jackie Robinson's on there.
Meh. I was going to give you Arlie Latham. So Arlie Latham is number 7 all time, and you were going to be going to be him, Arlie Latham.
Well,
while we're at it,
save that for next week.
While we're at it, though, just okay, we'll just nix this category because you got the top 2.
I did top 3, right?
No.
Henderson, Maury Wills and Lou Brock. Those are
Lou
like
Brock,
they're 3 of the top 10.
Maury Wills is not.
Really?
Should this guy be in the Hall of Fame? It's a question. Billy Hamilton is number 3 all time. 914 stolen bases. Should Billy Hamilton be in the
Billy
Hall?
Hamilton?
The Billy Hamilton. William Jefferson Hamilton. Billy Hamilton. 914.
Wait a second. No way.
Billy Hamilton.
No way. Like the guy that played for the Reds?
And the White Sox and Minnesota Twins and half the league. Billy Hamilton played for the Cincinnati Reds, Kansas City Royals, Atlanta Braves, New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, Miami Marlins, Minnesota Twins, and the Chicago White Sox.
When did he get 914 stolen? Did he even have 914 at bats?
He had 2,900 at bats.
So he's stealing a bag every 3 at bats.
He had seasons.
That's crazy.
He had a run of seasons where come on. Wait. No. Something's not right here. Something doesn't add up.
I was going to say
Billy Hamilton is number 3, but it's not the right Billy Hamilton.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Billy Hamilton, stolen base.
Billy Hamilton, the guy you're thinking of, has 326 career stolen bases. That sounds a little bit more reasonable.
Well,
my word. I was like,
other
what
guy?
In the world?
Who's this other leader, though?
Dude, you had me going there for a second.
Oh,
I was like, there is no way.
Okay, never mind. William Robert Sliding Billy Hamilton played from 1889 to 1895.
I was going to say, come on, man.
I can't. Does this guy even have doesn't even
have a picture.
No, he's got a picture.
My word.
Let's see. William
Sliding Billy Hamilton. Probably the inspiration for his mom and dad naming him the new Billy Hamilton was Sliding Billy Hamilton.
Okay, so this guy, 914, he had seasons beginning in 1889. 111 stolen bases, 102 stolen bases, and 111 in 3 straight seasons. He had 4 seasons where he had 100 stolen bases or more.
Is that when is that before they expanded the base paths to 90 feet where they are today?
In his last season at age 35 in the year 1901, he stole 20.
What an underachiever. What an underachiever.
And before you think he was just a one-trick pony, he batted a career average 344 with 40 home runs.
You know, when you're playing slow pitch softball and they call it Major League Baseball, you're going to rack up stats like that. There's no way in the world that he would be able to get that in today's game. No way.
What a guy.
Freddie, we're making much of Freddie Freeman, and he's a 300 career hitter. And, oh, man.
What's more impressive is that he stole 111 bases in a 22-game season.
That doesn't smell right. Are you serious?
So here's the thing. They're giving him credit for 120. There's 130 stolen bases he's been given credit for, where he played for the Kansas City KCC AA, the Kansas City Cowboys in the AA league, which is crazy because that's the American Association. So
I think if you go back early enough, you would find out that Julius Caesar actually is number 3 on the list, having stolen 915 bases during his very early days of the Roman Empire. Quite the base stealer, I heard.
He played for the Philadelphia Phillies for a number of seasons, and then he played for the incorporated team of Boston from 1896 to 1901. Anyway.
Fascinating.
That's great.
Well, this weekend you highlighted the some of the scheduling with the Dodgers Tigers. Tarek Skubal coming back to Detroit. taking note of the American League wild card situation, we've got Red Sox Yankees, two teams in the wild card hunt facing off, plus a great rivalry in New York. And that'll be an interesting matchup. And you've got the Diamondbacks Giants. The Diamondbacks out of the National League wild card at this point, but could totally get back in. You've also got Mariners Blue Jays, a couple teams that are again in the American League wild card hunt. And the Astros, sitting at 66 and 66 as we speak today, go to take on the upstart New York Mets. New York Mets trying to salvage their season. I think they've got a shot at 500. And I think they would count the season as a success if they could finish above 500. So that'll be an interesting piece. Jordan goes to New York. And on the other side of town, the Red Sox, Yankees playing ball as well. Loaded weekend. All sorts of fun things to take note of. Any other matchups you want to highlight before we piece for the weekend?
I think you've named them all. And so I'm looking forward to the same games. So, yeah.
There you go. We'll watch with bated breath, looking to see if, maybe Jacob Mizorowski comes from out of nowhere to become the front runner on the MVP in the National League. More on that discussion and other lively baseball banter next week and 2 in the Booth. And until then,
we're out of here.